Hey, hi everyone. This is an educational analysis video for everyone, those who are beginners. If any advanced player wants to go through it, he is more welcome. Now, one thing to note that whenever I will tell you to pause this video and find the best move, you all have to do that. And at the end of the session, you count how many points you have. Every pause the moment will have 1 mark for it. That means pause the video, find the answer. If you get the correct move, then you will get 1 mark. Otherwise, you can mark 0 for yourself. Now, it may be that you may have more than one option while playing. That also will be discussed. All the good moves in the game will be discussed. So, if you have any of those answers, then you can make a mark for that. And then go for the next ones and continue doing it till the end of the video. So now we already have e4 on board, e5 by opponent, and now white plays the move bishop c4. Now when white will play bishop, means he will develop his bishop on c4 instead of developing his knight on f3. This type of game is called the Vienna game. Okay, if you want to search it on other platforms, you can obviously go for that. Okay, it's a Vienna game. Knight f6 by opponent, which is the correct move, and now knight c3 by white, defending his pawn which is in center. But now black plays a surprise move for white. He plays knight into e4. Now this is your first pause the video moment. Pause the video for a while and find out that black has made a mistake by capturing a pawn, or it's not a mistake. I hope everyone have paused the video. Now if you look properly at this move, knight into e4 by black, it's not a mistake, it's a proper move that he can play. Okay, this is not a blunder. If white will capture the knight, then you can find out, okay, again you pause the video and find out what should black play, what's the best move for black. Okay, now the best move for black is to play d5. The idea behind knight e4, if we will go a little bit back, then idea behind knight into e4 is that if white will capture the knight, then black can play d4 with a double attack. As you can see, the pawn is attacking on both the pieces. So if white will save his bishop, black is going to capture his knight, and vice versa. So in game, same thing was played. d5 was played by the black person, and we have bishop b5 check. Again we have the third pause the video moment. So pause your video for a while and find out that black has a check. How should he defend the check? Okay, now pause it, find your answer, write it on your book, and let's continue. If you have thought that okay, black should defend with something like knight on c6, bishop d7, I hope no one have marked this move. Okay, it's a terrible mistake, because if queen will go on d7 just to block the check, white will more than happy. He's more than happy to capture your queen. So as you can see, one move back we were giving a double attack. We want to capture one of the piece because we already lost a piece with black. If he is giving a check, we must defend in the best way so that we also have some attack on his bishop. Otherwise, if you play a move like knight on c6, opponent will save his knight, and now you can see he has an extra piece with him. So what we can do is we can play the move c6, keeping up the double attack. Now you can see your d file pawn is attacking on the knight and c file pawn is attacking on the bishop. So there is still a double attack and black is still winning his piece back. So nothing to worry about from black side. Same thing, again white saves his bishop, then black will capture the knight, and white saves the knight, then he's going to take the bishop. Now pause the video and find out where white should move his bishop, which is the best square that he can move his bishop on. Okay, hope you all have done that. So if you carefully look at this bishop and the knight, okay, the best move to move the bishop will be to play it on d3. Obviously we are going to save our bishop because we want to have a bishop pair if we are going to the end game, because bishop pair is considered a little bit better, while if you have open endgame. So we will try to save our bishop. Now look at this. If you play something like bishop on a4, then opponent can capture your knight for free and you're not getting anything back in return. That's why we are going to play the move bishop d3. Now look at this move. After bishop d3, if it takes your knight, you are at least getting your pawn back. If you look properly, both sides, the material is equal. And now the game will continue. Depends on how white and black are going to proceed. So this was the way to go. But in this position, black played the move bishop d7, which is a big fat blunder. White's a blunder because now white is getting an opportunity, he's getting a chance to exchange one of his piece with check. So bishop into d7 comes with check, which white has played in the game. And after queen into d7, white can easily save his knight. Knight c3. Now you can count the pieces on both the sides. White has an extra piece with him. We have bishop b4 and knight f3. Okay, that's fine. If you want to play queen f3, then you can go for that also. That's also a correct move. But be sure that you don't play the move d3, because if you go for d3, you may face a problem by playing d4. I can see a knight is pinned and it also is being attacked by a pawn. So you have to be careful while making your move. Either you play knight f3 or you play queen on f3. Queen h5 also sometimes works, but queen f3 is played so that you give some double attack on the d5 pawn. But okay, in game knight f3 was played. We have e4 attacking on the knight, and now again pause the video and find out where to move the knight, which is the good square for the knight. Okay, those who found that you can move your knight on e5 and g5, very good. These are the only two squares where you can move your knight. Yes, it looks like d4 is a good square for the knight, but you may face some problems by c5 move. Opponent may play c5, there will be an attack on your knight. Again, you will have to move it, find a good square for the knight, and it won't be so good for your knight to move it again and again. He won't enjoy this game defending the position. That's why knight e5 and g5 both are correct. Knight g5 is correct because if he plays h6, you can get your knight back to h3. Now you don't have a white square bishop, so your knight is very safe there. Now you can just move your knight to maybe f4, and from there whatnot, you can give some double attack here. Okay, all of these things will be possible. But in game, knight e4 was played, which is the best move in the position because it comes with an attack on the opponent's queen. Opponent plays queen h5, and now again pause the movement, pause your video and find out where to move this knight or how will you defend the knight. So those who found that you can play knight on g4, your answer is wrong. If you play knight g4, it's a big mistake. Correct way to defend in this position is to play d4 or queen on g4. Now d4 with an idea that okay, if opponent will do n pass and capture your pawn, then you can obviously recapture with the knight and your knight is safe. If he goes for the move d4, then you can take the bishop, knight into bishop, pawn takes knight, and now you can recapture the pawn, and this is all fine for white. You can still continue the game, there's no problem. Material wise, you are up a knight. Okay, your pawn structure is a little bit messed up, but that's fine. If you have an extra piece, then who cares about the pawn structure? So that was one way to go, and second way is to play queen on g4. Now some of you may think, okay, it's a free knight, why not just grab it? But it's not like that. If black will capture your knight, pause the video and find out what white should play. Yes, those who found it, very good. Queen c8 is the move with checkmate. So that's why opponent will be forced to capture your queen and exchange it. Once you exchange your queen and you have an extra knight, yes, come on, you are winning the game. Yeah. So that was the way to go, but in this position knight on g4 was played, which is a mistake. Now I will tell you what's the mistake in this position. That if you look carefully, that all the squares around the knight are already covered. You are not able to move your knight. Only e3 square is available for your knight. So what opponent will do? Opponent will play the move d4. First attack the knight which is on c3, and once you move it, for example, let's say you just move it on a3. Now the e3 square is also covered by your opponent's pawn. So now h5 just traps your knight. Remember, you cannot defend your knight. If you defend your knight, then he just captures. You will not be able to recapture the pawn. So that's why this knight g4 move is a mistake. But okay, after knight g5, in this position knight c6 was played, black missed it, and now castles by white. We have d4, now white is going for that same idea. We have knight a4 and long castle. Again, black missed the idea of trapping the knight. We have b3. Now everyone pause the video and find out black to play. What's the best move that black can play in this position? Those who found it, very good. Those who are paying attention, they will be knowing that the knight is still trapped and h5 is the best move in the position. Now after h5, this knight has no squares to move. See, all the squares are covered with some of the other black piece. Yeah, so h5 was played in the game, and now a3, trying to exchange bishop for a knight, but it's not so simple also because bishop can move back. It's not a trapped piece, but a knight is a trapped piece. We have bishop a5, b4. We have bishop on b6, and now h3 by white. Okay, obviously black should capture the knight. Now you all have to find out whether white should capture the pawn or not. Should white play h into g4? Pause the video and find out. Those who found it, very good. That white should never capture that pawn with his pawn, because if he captures, now black is completely winning. Everyone pause your video and again try to find out how black is winning in this position. What move you would play? Okay, I hope everyone had paused. No one is cheating here. Okay. So correct move in this position is either you play queen on f4 or you play queen on h7. Both moves are having the same target, h7. h2. From f4 you could have targeted only one square, but now you have two of them. You can go on h1 or h2. That's a checkmate. Now after this move, white tried to trick, a little bit trick he did. He played the move f4. But now again, this does not work. Again, pause the video and find out what black should play. Okay, those who decided to play d3, it's a bad move. Because if you play d3, bishop is the one who's giving check, a discovered check. So knight into bishop solves every problem. Now there's no checkmate coming because king has an open space. So he will be able to escape with his king. So d3 obviously does not work. The problem in this position for black is that he wants to control the f2 square. So if you want to control the f2 square, just play the move e3. Now you see again this square is blocked and black is ready to give a checkmate. We have knight into b6. This comes with a check. Oh, it's a check. We have a into b6 and now d into e3. We have d into e4. Again the same pawn is covering the f2 square, not allowing the king to escape. Plus now there is an opened attack on queen. So either he saves the checkmate, which he cannot do. Poor king. Poor white king. And there's an attack on the queen also. Whatever he does, next move is getting checkmated. Even if he moves the rook, queen h1 is checkmate. Which happened in the game. In this game, rook f3 was played, trying to give up the queen. But black says nope, we are going to checkmate you, queen h1, and that was checkmate. Now very important, count your marks and try to see how many correct answers you got. According to that you can figure out where you stand. Okay, if any doubt you can ask me directly, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.